Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashrita Deshatarane Panchakalpa Turubhischa Kripasindu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. I'd like to thank all of my very dear and beloved Russian disciples for being present today for this annual Vyasa Puja ceremony. I carry with me in my heart so many wonderful memories from last year's Vyasa Puja ceremony. And that's interesting because this is a rather unusual way to do the Vyasa Puja ceremony. Certainly in the centuries before us, it was never held in this way. The spiritual master would be with, a group of his disciples somewhere. And the other disciples in different parts of, well, it would be India, obviously. They would hold the ceremony, maybe with a photo, but before there was photography, there wasn't even a photo. So in one sense, by the grace of science and technology, we have a unique opportunity here to be together. I really do miss the big events, like I would go to Ukraine, to Dnipro, and then I would go to Moscow, then I would go to St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, sometimes Omsk, sometimes Vladivostok. Those were such sweet ceremonies where we're all personally together. But mysteriously, or I could say mystically, in some ways I feel closer to all of you today because I can see so many of you and so many of you can see me. Even though it's, it's Zoom, or whatever they call it, it's a special, unique, historical opportunity. And I appreciate that so many of you can speak today and tomorrow. I extended it. I heard it, only one day, but I have so many thousands of Russian disciples. Let's make it 2 days. Everyone's, Gurudev, you're going to get tired. I don't get tired. If you know me, if you've ever been a personal servant or participate in one of my programs, I don't really get so tired. And it's still like that. I'm going to be the ripe old age of 72, but I don't feel 72. I feel, by Prabhupada's grace, I feel like an eternal spirit soul. So I said, I have no problem. We can go on 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, because this is so important that we're able to express what is really the essence of Krishna consciousness. There's so many aspects of our movement, but what is the essence? The essence is love. It's a heart connection, and that genuine heart connection, not like something in this world, not like love of this world, but a selfless love, that we experience in 3 ways. We experience that an awakening of love, genuine spiritual, selfless love, which one day will mature into Prem Bhakti for the divine couple, Shri Radhika and Shri Krishna. That's first awakened in the association of the devotees. If you ask the devotees, who's your best friend? That person will not say somebody from their past, although they may retain some affection for that person. But really, when we talk about our friends, they're all dasas and dasis. So many dasas and dasis. So that's a type of love. Then we have a love for our spiritual master as Krishna's representative, the one who's, performing the miraculous task of leading us out of the forest of illusion. I don't know if you've ever been lost in a forest, but it can be quite a scary thing. When we were in the Amazon jungle many years ago, I remember that we had gone from our big boat, we took a small boat to the shore of the Amazon River, and I went to collect some, some kind of flowers, I think, for the puja. And there were lots of interesting flowers in the Amazon jungle. So I kept going, I picked one there, and I picked one there, and I picked one there, and then 1 hour later, I turned around, I looked at this jungle. I didn't have a clue how to get back to the riverside, to the boat. I didn't have an idea because I was wandering in the forest of illusion. And I actually got a little scared because Amazon means, wild animals, poisonous frogs, snakes. It wasn't Disneyland. It was the real thing. So I experienced some fright. So I remembered that I was supposed to chant Hare Krishna. So I did. But I chanted fairly loud because I wanted the devotees to hear me. And then I called out to the captain of the boat, Capitan, help. And it took them about 45 minutes to find me. And as we were walking out of the jungle, such a relief. So the spiritual master is the one, his first business is to convince us of the futility of material existence and to help decrease our attachments for the illusory things of this world. And when we do that, when we let go of those attachments which are really a source of stress and anxiety and pain and ultimately birth and death, when you can actually get a spirit of renunciation, which is required. We're not tyagis, we're not just renunciates living in the Himalayas. But renunciation is an important quality because you have to let go of the material energy to take hold of Krishna's lotus feet. So in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, of which Prabhupada summarized in his Nectar of Devotion, he said actually the first sign that one has taken up the authentic path of bhakti or devotional service. And it's interesting, it's not love. Srila Rupa Goswami says the first sign that you're making advancement, you get a relief from the pressure of material existence, from the pain of material existence. This is the first thing. It's interesting. Because you let go of the live wire. There's a storm and the telephone wire comes down, it's live, and you grab it. You let go. Sense of relief. So we're indebted, first of all, to our spiritual master for relieving us from suffering. Because there's so many ways you can suffer in this world. How many ways can you enjoy? Maybe chut, maybe a few little ways you can enjoy. How many ways you can suffer? Like your hand. How many ways can your hand enjoy? Oh, you take the gulab jamun, you put it in the mouth, you say to your hand, so that's how many ways can the hand enjoy, really? How many ways can the hand suffer? You can hit it with a hammer, you can burn it in fire, you can freeze it in the snow, you can cut it. I don't want to give a sad talk here, but the hand, So that's pretty much what material exists. Prabhupada said that um, happiness in the material world means that someone's banging on your head and they stop. Oh, ecstasy. Excuse me. That's not ecstasy when someone stops bumping your head. So that the spiritual master teaches us how to avoid difficulty just by Vajravegam, Manasakrodavegam, Jivavegam, Upashtavegam, stopping this futile attempt to try to enjoy through our senses. No, use your senses in Krishna's service. That's the natural way. We're created to serve Krishna. So when our senses are engaged in his service, that's unnatural. That's the most natural thing. And we feel peaceful. Then what is the ultimate gift the spiritual master gives us? Service to Krishna. And it begins really from day one. You wash the pots, you clean the floor, you stamp the invitations, you help in the kitchen, and you go out on Sankirtan, and then you dress the deities, and that's where the real bliss comes from. So we're indebted to our spiritual master. Both those things are remarkable. To become detached from this world, because it's not an easy thing to become detached after having been attached for millions and millions of lifetimes. It's hard to break old habits, which we carry with us birth after birth after birth. So yes, it's just, we are indebted to our guru for that, and we have faith that what he's saying will come true. Because whatever he's told us up to this point, it has come true. We're maybe A, B, C, D, E, F, G along the alphabet. We're not X, Y, Z. We're beginners, A, B, C, D. But every A, B, C, and D has proved to be absolutely true. So therefore we can, with our intelligence, we can understand that there is a spiritual world where every step is a dance, every word is a song, and there's a festival every day. When Krishna comes back from the forest with his cowherd boyfriends, after a day of wrestling and playing in the sands of Ramanreti, and taking prasadam with Krishna together, so many pastimes, and Krishna sneaks off to meet the gopis, and the cowherd boys thinks, is he really just looking for a stray calf or something else going on here? Krishna comes back blushing. And then it's time to go home, and then 900,000 cows, all the cowherd boys, Krishna covered with the dust of Vrindavan, and Balaram, and cowherd boys, they can't wait to get home to tell their parents which demon Krishna killed that day. How they won the wrestling match with Krishna, and how they saw Krishna with the gopis. They can't wait to get home and tell their parents. So everyone's waiting down by Yashoda Kund at Nandagram for Krishna to come back. The whole village comes, not just the gopas and the gopis, but the older calves that don't go out to the fields, but the peacocks, the cuckoos, and the parrots, and the bumblebees and the butterflies, and everyone comes to the Yashoda Kund, and where they saw Krishna off that morning, and there's this tumultuous kirtan of chanting Krishna's holy names, and trumpets are blowing, and flags are waving, and here comes Krishna. They see his peacock feather through the dust clouds raised by the cows. They see his peacock feather. Everyone starts experiencing the 8 symptoms of ecstatic love of God. And that's the festival. We hear about a festival every day. What is the festival? Krishna's coming back into our hearts. That's how the Brajabasis feel, because he's been gone a long time. You know the mathematics of the spiritual world. When Krishna is gone for a moment, it's like he's been gone for a millennium. So you total up so many moments in a day, how many millenniums is that? And Krishna's coming home. Whoa, what a festival they have. And it happens every day. And because of the potency of Yogamaya, Purnamasi and Vrindadevi, it seems like the first time. It's ever fresh. Just like now, for us, Krishna consciousness is ever fresh. We're just like a baby, just opening our eyes and experiencing the world for the first time. We also get an impression. That's we have faith that world exists, because if we've sincerely followed our spiritual master's instructions, then we'll have faith that whatever he has said, whatever he's passed on from his guru, let's put it like that, whatever Prabhupada has told us, we have faith. And we're so indebted to our spiritual master for leading us out of the Amazon jungle and taking us back to Braj, back to Vrindavan. So that's an awakening of love. And of course, that day will come when we chant Krishna's holy name. We'll come to the point of beyond just purification, but there will be a dawning of love in our hearts. And we will, when we chant Krishna's name, which is a way of meeting him, because he's not different than his holy name. That won't just be a philosophical point. It will be a real experience. Just like Prasadam tastes real, just like you feel relief bathing in the Jamuna or the Ganges, you feel satisfaction dancing with your God brothers and God sisters and kids. That's real. So there'll be when you get to this point of awakening love for Krishna, then some tears will come from the eyes. Prabhupada talks about it's not sahaja. Prabhupada talks about that. He said one has to learn the art of crying for Krishna. So we have some way to go, but that's waiting for us. So therefore, really, our spiritual master is our best friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. Takes us out of the Amazon, takes us to Vrindavan, like that. And then that love for Krishna comes. So these loving relationships are so important, and we experience it every day with our God brothers and God sisters. And this is a nice opportunity to exchange loving sentiments today between guru and disciple. I have, I can say it honestly, I have unadulterated unadulterated love for all of my disciples, irregardless of what stage they're at in devotional service. Just like a mother, just like one of my disciples, Shama Balabi, she's from St. Petersburg. She gave birth to a healthy baby boy yesterday in Macedonia. Very healthy baby, big boy. Took her 7 hours to deliver him. And I was the first one. I got the call from her in the hospital. She's a strong Russian girl. She was like ready to jump out and leave the hospital. But it was so nice but what does the baby understand in the beginning? Very, very little. But still, the mother loves the baby. Mother's love. Prabhupada said the closest thing to we can see what is spiritual love, Vrindavan love, is the love in this world, is the love of a mother for her baby. It's a selfless love. Sometimes mothers sacrifice their lives for their children. So, but even though the baby's young, there's so much love. So even if my disciples, just got their pranam mantra, Gurudev, will you be my spiritual master? Immediately, I make the connection. Like the mother makes the connection with the baby. In my heart, I make that connection to my disciple. And I often tell you that at the moment of initiation that I'm ready to come back for all of you. as many times as necessary. I'm ready. I don't mind coming back to this world, as nasty as it is, as bad as it is, because this is my Prabhu Dat Desh. This is the place where I serve my spiritual master. And the place I serve my spiritual master, that's my Vrindavan. Because without Prabhupada, I have no clue who is Krishna. What is devotional service? How to learn the 64 arts that are required for serving Radharani and Krishna in the spiritual world. So wherever he is, then I will be there. I don't mind. You can make it easier for me by going home in this lifetime. But until each and every one of you are back in the spiritual world, I'll come for whoever is still here. I can say that, and I know my spiritual master is listening, that I will come back. We say in English, last man standing. Sometimes on the battlefield, there's a battle going on, and then on one side, there's one soldier left, serving his country to the upteenth degree. So I don't mind to be the last man standing if it's required to take you back, because that's my promise. That's how serious I take it. This is the meaning of guru. Guru is heavy. It doesn't necessarily mean that because he gets so much Mahaprasadam, he puts weight on, or that sometimes he gives some heavy instructions and he chastises us. Guru is heavy with responsibility. They say that the crown of the king is heavy. But I don't mind, because where am I getting my strength? From my spiritual master. That's where I'm getting my strength. So I feel really strong. I'm 72. I should maybe be walking with a cane and, not eating very much and losing my memory. I don't know, but I'm not. I'm ready to get out on Sankirtan and roar. Just roar the holy names on the streets of Kali Yuga. And I want to do it with all of you. I want to, I'm just praying this coronavirus just goes away. We can be back on traveling and meeting you and going on Harinam and doing our big festivals all over the world. So you mean the most to me? I have so many services. I think even in my astrology chart, there's some big times ahead. But really, for me, my most important service is you. Because there will come a day when I will be limited by my age. Probably by the time I'm 80. Got a good 9 years left. It might be difficult to dance down the streets and twirl and travel. So you will take my love for the people, because I love the people. I know it sounds crazy. He loves the karmis? I do. I don't know. I just do. I always have. I don't see them in a demoniac way. I mean, I understand they are demoniac, but I see them all as brothers and sisters, the lost sheep. And I'm really concerned about them as well. So when I get really old, then you will carry on for me. So the years that I have left, I want to really impress upon your hearts the importance of continuing Prabhupada's mission, which in this world, whoever he is in the spiritual world, we don't know, but someone very intimate with Radha and Krishna. But in this world, he's a preacher. And he gave his life for us to spread Krishna consciousness. So that's my life, and I expect that to be your life as well. In whatever way you can, many hands make small work. Whatever you can contribute, even if it's just a donation or, backup service, or in your lifetimes, you're all much younger than me. Mahaprabhu will reveal to you so many ways that you can serve him according to time, place, and circumstance. Just like now, my godbrother, Vaisheshika Prabhu, so hard to distribute books. What did he do? He envisioned a internet marathon, and in 6 weeks they distributed 200,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So 2 million.
200,000
Huh?
to 2 million?
I think 2 million. 2 million. 2 million Bhagavad Gitas in 6 weeks. So that's the mood that I imbibed from Prabhupada, who imbibed that from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and even Gorkishore Das Babaji. And all our previous, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So that's the mood, and I'm hoping to stay around many more years to impress that upon you, and you can all be good representatives of your spiritual master and share your good fortune with others. So therefore, you're most important to me. You're most important because you're my sons and you're my daughters. And naturally, a father has a deep affection, proud of his sons and proud of his daughters for your continued service all these years and what you can achieve in the future. So what's most dear to me is all of you. And I just wish I could like make you pure devotees overnight. One time, one of my godbrothers was sleeping in a room next to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada got up at 1:30 in the morning to do his translation work. I think it was Shruti Kirti. And Prabhupada came into the room where Shruti Kirti was sleeping, and he kicked him with his lotus foot. "Why are you sleeping?" So Shruti Kirti looked at his watch. He said, "Prabhupada, it's 1:30 in the morning. Why are you sleeping?" "I'm not a pure devotee." And Prabhupada kicked him again. "Why aren't you a pure devotee?" What? Why aren't you a pure devotee? Why aren't we pure devotees? We have a golden opportunity to be pure devotees. We have the opportunity. Mahaprabhu will give it to you in one life. Why not? Oh, I have some things to do, and sometimes I get distracted. No. I don't chant my rounds like I used to. No. I don't offer my food. No. Get serious. Go home. Back to the spiritual world. So I'll stop here because, like Sagamara said, he wanted to hear all the offerings. I also want to hear all the offerings. I want to hear from you if you appreciate the service I'm doing for you. This is a service I'm doing for all. I love all of you more than you can actually know. I've been a devotee for 55 years or something. So maybe some purification has come. So I know more than all of you. And you don't know how much I actually care about you. I worry about you. My hair's gone gray. I have a gray Sika now. I think about you. When you have problems, I get stressed out. And I'm very sorry that all of you have to undergo this whole pandemic. And we've lost a lot of wonderful devotees. So it's a sad situation. So I do worry about you. So therefore I say, chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And I know you're safe. I know Nrsingadev will watch over and protect you. And any difficulties you go through, Balaram will give you the spiritual strength to maintain and go forward. I know that. So, but you do, I just wanted to tell you all mean a lot to me, and you're all Mahaprabhu's soldiers. And I want you to carry on this movement in the years to come, and you inspire the next generation as well to do the same. And Prabhupada said, we will have our ISKCON in the spiritual world. Isn't that great news? We'll all be together. And Gargamuni, he asked Prabhupada, when we get back to the spiritual world, are we going to recognize each other? And Prabhupada said, yes. We won't look the same because we'll have shed these nasty bodies like a snake sheds its skin once a year. So we'll have shed the ignorance of these bodies, But we, by Krishna's grace, we will recognize. And what type of meeting that will be. We have such a bright future ahead of us, such a bright future. But we have to persevere. Chant your rounds, chant your Gayatris, read Prabhupada's books, associate with devotees as much as you can, do some service. These are the simple requirements, and we will all be together for many more years serving Prabhupada's mission. And one day we'll be back in Goloka Vrindavan. And if you want to know what Goloka Vrindavan is, please continue attending the lectures that we're giving about the 12 forests of Vrindavan. I've got lots more to say, got a huge library, and I've got some very enlightened God brothers and God sisters. So I'm really enjoying this service. This is our connection now, the main connection with the spiritual masters through sound vibration, through knowledge. So this, in one way, this pandemic has had a silver lining in that, I used to travel all the time. I maybe read, 3 or 4 purports a day and then give my ABC lectures. And now I study 10 hours a day. Baba. I'm a Babaji. Govinda Maharaj said, Indranand Swami, 10 years we lived in the ashram. 40 years we traveled. Why lament the last 10, 15 years of your life? You can retire like they do in Braj, be Babaji, study Bhakti Shastra. So that's what I did. But I couldn't keep it to myself. It's so nectarian. The 12 forests and the sub-forests and the sub-forests and all the different personalities in Vrindavan and all the pastimes. It's like I discovered this treasure chest. I open it up, oh my God. But I can't keep it. I have to share it with all of you. By the grace of the 6 Goswamis and our previous acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, I love this service. I can't wait to get in front of the camera. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my dear Russian disciples. Welcome back for another chapter of Sri Brajabhumi Srimad Prabhupada. And then I go and I would like to give the lecture for 4 hours. But Ananta says I can't do that. He says I can only go an hour and a half. But I treasure that service, and I hope that you're treasuring it, because by that, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, and that little seed of bhakti, it's beginning to germinate and grow. So it's so one, isn't it? This is the real connection we have. So in one sense, we are all closer than ever. And that's why my love for you, I think, has deepened exponentially, because we're reciprocating on a true transcendental platform by discussing Braj. How doesn't get better than that? in the midst of the worst time in the world, doesn't get better than this, discussing Vrindavan Leela. So I want to thank all of you for helping me serve my spiritual master. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And I look forward to seeing you every Tuesday and every Friday for many years to come online. And I do look forward to the day. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I fly into Moscow. Whoa, after such a time, and I get off the plane and I come into the gate, and there's this big kirtan. You're all there with garlands. Here I get tiny garlands. I come and there's all the garlands, and you're there. It's going to be an ocean of tears. We're going to flood the airport with tears. When we meet again, can you imagine? I walk out and you're there. What is that going to be like? Separation makes the heart go. I can't even imagine in my mind. And then St. Petersburg, and then Omsk, and then Krasnodar, and then Kazan. See, I don't forget the names. I can't remember the names of the cities in my country, but I remember all the cities in Russia. So thank you. I've talked too long, but I wanted to pour my heart out, how much I love all of you and appreciate your service to Mahaprabhu's movement. And if you'd like to say something to me, I'll take it. I'll try to listen. I don't feel qualified. I never think that what you said, I deserve it. But I always take it that, yes, what you're going to say in the next few hours, that's the person I would like to be, so that I can render better service to Srila Prabhupada. So thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Guru Parampara ki, Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki, Tagore Premanandi. Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Sharm Sharm Sharm. Spasibo Bofre.